have here is the 3 different stages. So you're going to start off with this. You're going to print that. Then you're going to carve away and print that, and then you'll carve the last part away and you'll print the last color. So all of these 3 stages will be on one block. Does everybody understand?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. Look at this and you can see all the different steps. So you guys remember how to do a simple registration. What is the first thing I do when I get ready to register for printing? Ben? Trish? What's the first thing I do when I get ready to register for printing?
You trace over with some type of, with that.
What do I trace first?
The paper. Your picture.
The paper, exactly. Why do I do the paper first?
So you
Because
can line
so you
it
can
up.
get an idea.
Exactly. So you can see where you want your print to be. So now I put my print down, right? And I place it on the paper where I want it to be. I trace over it, and then I know that every time I come back to that, it's going to be in the same location. Right? And so when I put the tape down, I can put it down in the corners where I drew my marks.
So you can tape there.
So I know where to put the paper each time, and I know where the print is going to go each time. So this goes right back there, and then my paper comes in, we slide it in, and that way we can do our printing that way, and we always know it's in the same place. Now you guys know that. So you're probably asking, well, how do you do this with 3 different prints, 3 different colors? Well, I did a smaller one so we can go through this pretty fast. And I also broke it up into 2 sections. So we know my paper's coming in this way, right? It's coming down. And so the first color I print is going to be a light color. Why would I not print black here?
Because it would be hard.
Because then, like, if you print a dark color, then, you know, you have to use darker colors on top of it. You have to use a light color on top of a dark color, which doesn't really show up.
Right.
And that is just terrible.
You want it visible.
So I'm going to print this first color, and so I lightened it up a little bit because I know I want that bottom color to be light, and I'm doing a little mixing right onto my ink palette. So what sound am I wanting to hear before I start to put the ink onto the print?
Stickiness.
The stickiness. It sounds like
Velcro sound.
it sounds kind of like Velcro. If I put it on like that, is that going to be good?
No. Has to be a solid color.
That's right. So I want to get a little sticky, get that nice feeling, and so the key is always to get the right amount. When you're doing your block, you want to make sure that you're not doing it on your registration plate, you're doing it somewhere else because you don't want to get ink on that. So I'm going to ink this up, and the way that I'm going to work through this is I want you to follow along in the handout that I gave you, but the most important thing I want you to realize is that first is that this is going to be a 3-day process for you. What I'm going to do is go through the whole process kind of condensed and sped up, and I want you to see how the whole process works, but you're going to do 1 color for each day. So how many days will it take you to do a 3-color print?
3 days.
3 days.
7 days.
So I'm going to bring this in, put this in. I know that that goes there, and I have some of these already printed out.
Is that with your address on it?
Say what?
Is that with your address or something?
No, it's my haiku.
Oh.
So, same location, drop it down. And we know that pressure and the amount of ink that goes onto your plate is really key
And don't move the thing or whatever.
to making
Your block.
a good print. So I'm going to go through. So now, if I'm printing these, and you guys need 12 of these for your portfolio, how many of the first color am I going to print?
12.
12? What if you need 12?
Like 20 or something.
20 might be a good number to go for. That way you can narrow
Oh,
down
yeah.
to the 12 best ones.
They're not going to be all perfect.
So,
Yeah, because what if like everything is perfect in the first two steps, and you're only making 12, and everything's perfect in like it's all lined up, and then the third one of them gets registered a little weird, and then it's off.
Right.
You have to do all three steps again for just one.
so I'm going to speed this up and hair dry this. But you're not going to do that. You're going to print all one flat color. You're going to do like 20, and you're going to let them dry. Okay? You think it's dry? Okay. Let me turn this off. Okay. All right. So let's just say I have 20 of these. They're all dry. They're all ready to go. It's the next day. I'm coming back in for my second color, right?
Chewing dry salmon. Really?
It's a salmon color.
Are these like the exact colors you did?
No, they're a little bit different.
Light blue.
So I'm going to go
Sky blue.
doing a little mixing right onto the ink
Or
plate.
is it baby blue?
And you know, some of you guys have done like the blends where you blended, where you blended two colors. You can do that as a second color too, which is a nice option. Or you can do it as your first color. So my second plate is you're going to clean this off, and then your design that you see under there will still be there. And it's interesting because when you make that transfer onto it the first time, you might think that, oh, when I get ready to ink it up and then I wash it off, it'll be gone. Well, for some reason, the pencil stays on there. So let me wash this off and I'll show you real quick. You can see it's still on there,
Oh my.
right? You guys see that?
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's still on there. So that means that the next day, you kind of just have to pretend that that's not there. Look on their handout and find out what stage we are in. So Ben, can you tell me what number stage this is?
We did
Like
that.
dry.
I'm carving this first block away. So
We
which number
are
stage
on
is it?
We're on step 8.
Yeah.
That's right. Okay, so I go in. I'm ready to print this color. I've got my lighter blue. Make sure that I'm not printing it on, inking it up on my... And you can see that now I have the fish is kind of outlined, but I also have some blue color swirling around it, right?
Yeah.
And you're really, when you start to do your sketches, you're really going to have to think about how am I breaking down my colors and how are they going to translate in what I'm actually trying to convey in the piece. Okay? So, going back in. Try to line it up the best that you can.
Now we're on step 10.
That's right. That's why I made that. Also, too, I want to let you guys know if you go to the printmaking you go to the oldschoolarts.info webpage and you go to printmaking, it's there. This whole thing is in a slideshow, so if you want to look at it online, you can do that too if you lose your paper. Okay, so now I'm on my second color. It's the second day, and I'm printing. Yeah. I'm gonna pull this up. So I've got my second color.
Beautiful.
All right.
Whoa, that's awesome.
Right.
Oh, that's so nice.
Okay, so that's pretty much dry to the touch. So remember, I'm just want to keep emphasizing that this is going to be a 3-day process for you. So now I'm going in for the last color. Why am I choosing black as my last color?
Because it's a dark color, and like if you had the light color, if you put black down first and then you put a light color on top, then the black is gonna seep through. It's just like painting the wall.
Yeah.
So.
So I want that last color, and you know, CMYK, I don't know if you guys know what that stands for, but it stands for cyan, magenta, yellow, and K. And K stands for key, which is the black color. So in a printing process, like in an offsetting print, where they print professionally in like newspapers and magazines, K stands for black because it's your key color because it pulls everything together. When that last color gets printed, everything kind of gets crystallized. So you don't have to use black as your last color, okay? But I'm saying it might be for your first 3-color reduction print, it might be a good strategy to employ because you know it's really going to kind of pull things together at the end.
The black one always seems like it's dry.
So now on the 3rd day, somebody tell me what stage am I at on the handout that I gave you?
You are on stage.
Oh, we're on stage 15.
That's right.
Make sure you line it up well, hey.
Yeah, I know. This is important. You really want to get that lined up. And if you get, if you get ink on your hands, make sure that you get it cleaned up.
Baby wipes.
Baby wipes are a wonderful
Is
way.
it possible to clean those things with baby wipes?
Yeah, it was an excellent donation.
Yeah, I don't even know what we'd do without
Baby
that.
wipes is a really good way to get some ink cleaned up.
Thank you.
Alright, so I'm going in for the last color. And let's see what this looks like. So you're going to have 20 of these, right? And near the last day, you're going to be ready to print your last color and you'll be done. Alright, so now be careful when you print your last color because you'll have a lot of the carving, you'll have a lot of the plate carved away, the block print. And it has a tendency to not stick, and it has a little tendency to move around, okay? So make sure that you're holding it and you're being gentle. And the reason that I'm also showing you how to do this 3-color reduction print on this board instead of the press is because this is something you can do at home. You know, you can do this anywhere. All you need is this basic materials. You can print cards, you can print your own prints, you can do your own
I got a lot of
editions.
stuff in my house that I can
Yeah.
have.
You guys know what editions
Anything on.
you guys know what editions are now. You can print your own small edition and number them and sell them. You can make your own Christmas cards, holiday cards.
Me and my mom are actually renovating the garage into well, renovating is the wrong word. We're
Okay,
taking
here
all
we
the
go.
junk out of the garage and putting a table in there and an easel.
Voila.
Plus, it's really dark.
That's nice.
Sort of for windows, making
Wow.
a dark room.
That is beautiful.
So I did that all
Damn.
just in this, 15 minutes or so. This is going to take you 3 days, okay? Because one, I only did one. I didn't do 20, and I didn't.
And it's incredible.
And I used the hair dryer. So, but that looks pretty nice. And so this is, the haiku is a snowy morning by myself chewing on dried salmon.
Fantastico.
That's nasty.
You don't like dried salmon?
No.
It's delicious.
What a photo.
I
So-
only like
Also known as-
salmon
So
croquettes.
this is what you guys are going to do. Everybody's going to have 20 of these, okay? So what I would like you guys to do to spend for the rest of this class, even though we're running out of time, is I would like you guys to get out. I'm going to project some images from our trip to the Japanese garden with a little bit of traditional Japanese music, and I want you guys to spend the last 10 minutes writing haikus, thinking about what we saw at the Japanese garden, and also thinking about what we saw earlier and the question that I asked you. The question that I asked you about poetry, okay?
All I seen was.
All right, so you guys get your sketchbooks out. And we're gonna-
Manure.